the more I read and hear about and talk to people about the writer's strike, the more it is becoming clear that there is a big fear of AI. And I mean, we've already seen examples of, I think Tesla, did you see that clip? Can we get a hold of that clip, the Tesla one with Ryan Reynolds? Where they,
God.
I mean, this is, and this was done, my understanding is maybe without his permission. I'm not
100%
sure.
without his permission.
And the dynamic is interesting. There was a time a couple years ago where they were putting like Marilyn Monroe and John Wayne into commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Did they do MLK too?
I don't know if they did that, but the point being is, when you sign these contracts, very often the nature of these contracts are, we get the rights to this in perpetuity in all mediums that exist today and in the future. And there is a big fear that what the producers are looking to do ultimately by, we've talked about the gigification of writing. Used to be, you get on a TV show, you're in a room, 10 people, 12 people, 15 people, you're writing scripts, you got a 9-month contract or a year-long contract or a 6-month contract, and you're there every day and you're working on things. And increasingly, it is going more towards a model where, there's one writer and day players are brought in to punch up stuff. And there is a fear, I think, amongst the writers that what these studios are ultimately going to do is just have a AI write the script, and then we bring in a couple writers here and there to just do punch up, and that is not a living for writers. Mm-hmm. There's also a fear that you're going to sign contracts to act in a show, to voice a show, and once they bank enough of this stuff, they can just start creating these shows without you. Do we have that Tesla video?
Yeah.
Papa, just give you an example of this.
Yeah.
Apparently Tesla did this.
Well, no, sorry. The story behind this is some Tesla fanboy did this by himself. And I'll be honest, I don't think the quality is, it's a more proof of concept.
This is a proof of concept type of thing. Yeah, this is a Tesla fanboy did this. And it's funny because you had Elon Musk saying like, we've got to and regulate. But when Elon Musk says you need to regulate something he's involved in, my sense he's already found something that he thinks that he can leverage the regulation against competitors.
That's, just a real quick note on that. A whole bunch of people who are invested in AI are also talking about it as like, we need to regulate it. And I'm very suspicious that they're not just using that as a way to drive more investment. But yeah, here's this.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds. How much do you think it would cost to own a car that's this fucking awesome?
This shouldn't be legal, by the way.
Right.
None of this should be.
That's the coolest thing ever. What if I told you could own this car for less than the lifetime cost of a Toyota Corolla?
Okay, so there it is. Now, I mean, the bottom line is that that's not Ryan Reynolds. It doesn't look. It needs to look better. But if
the
just
voice sounds
a dude did this in his, with his computer, it's going to be. It's going to be a problem.
I saw a point, Sam, and I'm curious what you think about this, because famously, Hollywood sort of producers can't read mail, scripts that are sent to them because of litigation regarding like plagiarism. You need to get,
they'll send a document to you saying...
we can't open this.
Well, they'll also, or if they want to, they will send a document that like sort of releases certain liability and whatnot.
But like that, how does, what's the legal liability here with regards to AI scripts? Because I imagine like what are they being inspired by but like scripts that are fed into it as a database? I
mean, that's the thing. Is it materially close enough? I mean, that's where there has to be government regulation, but also in these specific instances, the guilds need to defend this. And the Writers Guild have been doing a great job. They've been getting a lot of support from like Teamsters and from other unions like SAG-AFTRA. Here they are protesting a talk by David Zaslav. He's the CEO and president of Warner Brothers Discovery. He was at the, I should say talk, I mean, he was at the BU commencement. And here, students, I mean, this is the problem that business is going to have and is having now. This is why the Writers Guild strike is different this time around than it was, whatever it was, 13, 14 years ago, 15 years ago now, because younger people are much more in touch with the rights and power of labor, and regardless of what that labor is. And you would not have seen, I can assure you, 15 years ago, certainly not 20 years ago, and definitely not 30 years ago, people at BU in any way doing this.
You want to be successful, you're going to have to figure out how to get along with everyone. And that includes difficult people. Some people will be looking for a fight.
Oh, I love them.
Wow.
Pay your writers. Pay your writers.
And you know, the thing is, with a guy like that, that really sticks in his craw.
Oh, yeah. This is his moment in the sun. Is he a BU alum?
I don't know.
Yes,
He's probably like, I'm
he's a
back. I'm the successful alumni. Here I
Got
am.
my Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
yeah. I mean, this is to the extent that something can be effective. This is effective. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
I'd love to get him talking to his family. Like, so how'd it go?
damn kids, BU has changed.
It's not me who's out of
Wokeness.
touch. It's the kids. But just back to the AI point, I think that the things that we, like, from the left, we should be most concerned about when it comes to AI is not the takeover and, like, it's going to surpass humans, like some of these tech executives are saying, but that it's going to be used to undercut labor in the way that you describe. Like, I still think it's in its infancy, and I mean, some of the scripts you see AI churn out are kind of silly or whatever, just as a test case, but potentially in the future, that's what it's going to be used for. That's how it needs to be regulated.
Yeah.
Not so Elon Musk or Google or whoever can get rich off of it, like from IP, but so that there's labor protection so it doesn't supplant people.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to move very quickly. I was talking to a guy who was involved in machine learning, you know, has been doing it for years before it was called AI, or really in a lot of respects, and just working in the logistics area. And he said, like, this is like electricity. Like, it's like the advent, in his mind, the advent of electricity in terms of like what the implications are going to be. And we're still very much at the beginning of this.
I'm a little bit in between. Like, I think, like, for instance, the automated, if we could do a Spanish version of Majority Report, first, that will take a lot of computing power to put this entire show into a program and have it spit out a speaking Spanish,
Right.
the entire thing. That is way more functional and useful than anything I've ever heard of with cryptocurrency, for instance. At the same time, I do think part of it is, and I can't help but feel that, like, this is like a whole bunch of things are being lumped that used to be called like smart technology or this and that, and it's basically like the new tech booster way to sell investors on a lot of things. Like NVIDIA, the GPU maker, is trying to make up for like fall in demand post COVID crunch by selling future like AI capabilities. And Intel, the same chip makers, like they're selling the stuff in a way that's like, to me, it's there's like unlike crypto, there's something to it, but I also think there's like a 50% boost on it in terms of hype because it's an investor sort of priority.
Well, both things, they're not mutually exclusive. Mm-hmm. You can both have this massive impact and also
Right. Like crypto
impact
it was
its
exclusive. Like
yeah.
it was just speculation.
Totally.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean,
Jennifer from St. Louis asked, "What's the Spanish for
Yeah.
But you know what? I could probably get the AI to take out
those
the
out.
and the stutters.
Yep.
So that would be pretty good.
But then you lose the contours of the show, and I mean, like, look, it's just
Is Sam without the ums?
yeah. I don't know if that's right.
I
It's
guess
not
that's
your
a question
brand.
for AI.
But the AI, but that's going to be the massive gap here, and that's why I'm a little bit closer to Matt in terms of my skepticism. I think it's being oversold without like the very human elements that are necessary to producing any kind of work as a way to boost investment. I mean, there was all that hype about lab-grown meat and self-driving cars. I know it's not the same thing, but for the latter example, there's some automation involved there. And then what did we find out? That technology is so far away, and it was just there to drive money into the coffers of people that wanted to work on, like Musk himself.
Yeah, and one final note is like people say that, and they said this for crypto, but I think it's like more of a arguable for AI is like, what if it has the same impact on society as the internet? And one, like I think it's kind of a continuation of the internet, but even put that like how the only people that really benefited from the internet really like that could like say retire earlier are people who made passive income bets on stock markets or something like that. Like look at wages, they didn't increase because of the internet. So like I also think who owns this stuff is a bigger problem. And that's where you get to like it's a labor thing, because that's who is going to be able to deploy AI technology is people who want to do labor saving.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think that is I mean, regardless of whether what impact you think AI is going to have, it is the political structures that are going to determine are we literally just going to be made more productive by it and not get any and not share and who gets the benefits of that increased
So the labor
productivity
saving.
is always the question.
Yeah, because I gotta say, I was watching a terrible, trashy reality show called Selling Sunset the other day.
He loved that show.
If you listen to the music in that, it could be made by AI.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you would lose absolutely nothing except for the money that goes to those creators,
That
which is
makes-
the problem. But like, there's no actual artistry to some of that stuff. I think like that's the low hanging fruit that AI is going to challenge is like the stuff that is pretty like tonight it's gonna be all right, and then like whoa.
Right, but that's exactly. It's like all of the music is just a variant of like the same 3 percussion patterns, lyrics about partying and not caring about tomorrow, and they could totally replace that with a computer.
yeah.
Majority Report wardrobe coordinator says maybe AI will fix the camera heights.
Camera heights are good. Well,
We're
The
aligned.
problem is that I'm just so much taller than
yeah, Sam is 6'6". That's
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I grew over the weekend.
got that surgery.
Yep. The
Leg lengthening
Leg
thing.
lengthening surgery.
Wasn't there some story about a guy that happened
You
to?
get 6 inches apparently.
Yeah, and it ruined his bones or something. Predictable outcome.